Okay, with the Greek god items gone and the bending mythics now in the game, I'm sure you'll want to know which ones you should be going after to get those Victory Royales. And because everyone loves a countdown, let's start at number 4. This weapon was vaulted, fixed, then brought back into the game, but still feels a little broken and unusable at times. And just in case you were living under a rock for the past few days and don't know what I'm talking about the Earthbending Mythic. This weapon is more of a defensive weapon due to its ability to create a barrier between you and your enemy, but you can hold down the fort with those huge boulders you could hurtle towards your enemy. You can also break your enemy's cover, leaving them exposed to an attack. But user beware, because while you might look like you're dishing out some serious punishment, the reality is you need to be fairly accurate with your shots, and you should focus on the reticle, not the boulder. Especially in close quarter combat, where the rock takes up a lot of your sight picture. I kinda wish the rock was smaller because, as the saying goes, aim small, miss small, and that really rings true in this case. If what I've told you about this mythic sounds good, then here are 2 guaranteed spots where you can find it. Coming in at number 3 is the Firebending Mythic. This weapon would be at number 1 if not for 2 major drawbacks. The first one is how close you have to be to your enemy in order to do damage to them, and the second drawback is being locked into your attack animation. That isn't a deal breaker though, because the attack animation isn't as bad as weapons like the Thunderbolt of Zeus or the Deku Smash, but it does leave you open to attacks. Putting those drawbacks aside, the Firebending Mythic is one awesome weapon at close range, especially if you're fighting against players with the same controller type as you. Controller players might have a slightly harder time playing against mouse and keyboard players because of their ability to flick their aim, but this can be overcome by using surprise and ensuring that you get the first 2 attacks to land damage on your enemy. Using the Firebending Mythic really brings me back to my OG Street Fighter days when mashing the buttons as fast as you can really do some damage, especially against multiple players. If you're playing with a teammate, a good strategy is to stick close to each other, where both of you can attack with fire and completely decimate your enemy. If this mythic sounds good, then here are 2 guaranteed spots where you can find it. Coming in at number 2 is the Master Mobility item, the Airbending Mythic. And just to be clear, this mythic isn't a weapon per se, but it is a mobility device you can use to either catch a player by surprise, move around the map quickly and quietly, and also escape an almost certain death at high speed. If this sounds like a must-have, then here are the 2 shrines where it can be found. But you should probably do some looting before you head to the shrine just in case there's an enemy waiting there for you. And now the mythic that comes in at number 1. It's obviously the Waterbending Mythic. This weapon dropped way before the others and is one of the best weapons in the game right now because it's the whole package and it can do things the other 3 mythics just can't. Mainly, you can engage your enemies at long range. Long range shots means you can stay away from enemy players using the other mythics and allows you to do huge amount of damage while being further away from players with poor aim. But if long range engagement isn't your thing, that's okay because this weapon is also great at medium and close range. And with the new buffs which increase the fire rate, projectile speed, and damage, this weapon has come to dominate the battlefield, and you need to wake up to its power. The Waterbending Mythic also provides passive healing while in water, so you can hopefully last a little longer on the battlefield. Just make sure you exit that gunfight before all your health is gone and jump into some water to get it back up. In a way that kind of helps give you an extra inventory slot that can be used for something other than healing. If the Waterbending Mythic sounds good to you, then here are 2 guaranteed spots where you can find it. Well, there you go. Get out there and give these weapons a shot. My favorite thing to do is get all the bending mythics and just have some fun trying to get some exciting gameplay action. But I want to know, what are your favorite mythics and what order would you put them in? Sound off in the comments. If you're really enjoying the content, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the battlefield.